So the next thing we need to do is code some basic functions for our turret. I'm just going to start with the most difficult part so we get it out of the way. So under this little thing that says functions on the left hand side, you should be able to have a row and say it says plus function. Click that. And we are going to name this. Okay, if that happens, just look down here. Should say new function 0 or something. We're going to name it search for visible targets. Press enter. And we're going to make this a pure function. Compile and save. And then also before we set this up, I forgot one last thing. Go over your target preferences variable and click it. And there should be something that says instance editable. Check that box and then compile and save. So we're going to go back to our search for visible targets thing, which we have open. If it's not, you can always find it again by double clicking here. Okay, so we just have to create some local variables which only exist inside of this function. So the first one we'll create. It's being a little weird. I don't know what's going on with this. Okay. Name this one potential target. And then we're going to change the type to an actor reference, an actor object reference. Click that. Click local variable again. I'm starting to get this kind of weird bug here, but I don't really want to restart my program. So we're going to keep going, and we're going to name this close last location, and we're going to make that a vector. And then we're going to make a new one and name it far last location. These will both be vectors. We'll set these inside this function. Compile and save. I'm going to try closing this and reopening this function and see if that's what's causing it. Yeah, I don't know. So, what we need to do next is click on your input right here. And under inputs, click new parameter. Set the type to actor, like object reference again. Except instead of right clicking on this like you normally do, you have to just left click. And there should be a bunch like a little checkered grid. Click that. And then we're going to name this actor array in. And then we'll click a new parameter again and name it target pref in. And we're going to set this to back to a single variable and type enums. And look for your turret enums. We'll click that again. Oh, excuse me. And then compile and save. And then under outputs, we are going to create a new parameter. This one will also be an actor object reference. And we're going to name this new target. And we'll create another parameter. And this will just be a Boolean. And we'll name this found new target. Then compile and save, and then detach that return node. Eventually we'll need 3, so you can copy and paste and create 3 of them, and we'll kind of move them around as we need them, but just kind of get them out of the way. The first thing we're going to do now is drag from actor array in, type length, drag from this integer output, type a greater than symbol. It should be integer greater than integer. Click that. And then drag from this little red bubble and type branch. Attach that to your input node. And if false, we're going to attach this to a return node and just leave it as it is. Next, we're going to click close last location. And while holding shift, click, oh, actually it didn't work. Okay, never mind. Hold Alt and just bring in close last location and far last location. Connect those. And then drag in your turret detection sphere. Drag from the bubble, say get scaled sphere radius. Or, part of it and find it. Click that. right click and type make vector, and then attach this. I gotta be careful with this. Actually, wait, don't attach this to anything quite yet. Attach this float output to each part of it, and then drag once again from turret detection sphere and type get. Actually, nope, I was wrong. My bad. Right click and type get actor location. Drag from the vector and type plus vector. Click there. I'm going to move this bubble down once again by control clicking. Stuff out of the way. Now attach that make vector to that vector plus vector. And now attach get actor location to far last location, and attach the vector plus vector output to close last location. Next, we're going to need a for each loop with break. So right click and type for each loop, and it should be for each loop with break. Click that. Attach it to your other node. Now attach from your input actor array in to your array input on your loop. There's a lot of stuff going on outside today. And then from completed right here, we're going to drag from here and type is valid. And it should be a question mark. If it's like a function, don't use that, use this. And you should get something similar to this. And then control click and bring potential target in, and attach that to your is valid node. Bring over your two return nodes you haven't used, and attach each of them to each respective output. And on the is valid, click check the checkbox so it's found new target is checked, and then attach potential target to that. And I'm going to kind of move this so you can see a little better what it is. Okay, and then from loop body, we're going to drag from there and type line trace by channel. Click that. Alright, then drag from this actor array element and type get actor location, and attach that to end on your line trace. And then we're also going to once again bring in the turret detection sphere and type get world location, or if you see it, you can click it too, and attach that to the start. For now, for the draw debug type, I'm just going to do for one frame, and then compile and save. Just looking a little bit ahead. Okay, for the out hit, drag from the out hit and type break, so you have all your hit result. And then from your line trace by channel, drag from there and type branch. We'll get that in there. And then from your condition node on your branch, drag from there and type and it should be an and boolean. Click that. And then from return value, attach that to your and then from hit actor, drag from there and type two equal signs for equal object. I'm going to reattach this to the bottom, and then I'm going to attach this red output to the and. And now attach your array element all the way down to that equal object. So this is just saying if the line trace has to find a blocking hit and the hit actor is the same as what it was referencing. And since these they're basically a short circuit, so if this first condition fails, it'll abandon this right away and just tell it it's wrong. Unless Unreal 4 does it different, I don't know. We're almost done. This is the hardest part of the whole thing. So now from the true side of this, drag from there and type, oops, actually don't do that. Go to target preferences on the left and control, I'm like wrong 2 for 2. I'm sorry. Go all the way back to your input. There should be target preference in. Drag from that all the way over until you're past your branch, and then type switch. And it should say switch on turret enums. Click that. Attach that to true. And now, from default, drag from there and type print string, and we're just going to type error default. And then I'm going to make the text yellow so it's easier to see. So this way, if you ever accidentally have your turret set on default, you can I've lost train of thought. You can basically just see quickly in your text log that something is wrong. From fire at will, we'll first hold Alt and bring in potential target. Then from fire at will, attach that to that node. And from hit actor in your line trace, plug that into that. Then from the other side of your potential target, drag that all the way back around to the break on your for each loop with break and attach it there. So once if you're on fire at will, it's just going to check if the first hit it gets, that it can see a target, it's going to immediately shoot that whatever that is. We're compiling and saving. And then we're going to drag from that length node, when you check the length of the array at the beginning, we're going to drag from the integer output there all the way over. And we're going to do another greater than sign. And click that. We're going to type 1 in there. So this is if the length is more than 1, so there's at least more than 2 actors. Next, what we will do is we'll right-click and create a branch. We're going to copy and paste once, and then we're going to select both, then copy and paste again. So you should have 4 branches. Move that up a bit. So on closest first, plug that into the top. Farthest first, plug that into the bottom branch. And then attach this condition to both of those. And if either of these is false, we're going to attach it into the potential target from the fire at will one. And so if there's only one target, we just want it to only check one target and be done. But if not, so if it's true, there is more than one target, now we just got to do a little bit of math to find which target is closest or farthest. So if true, attach that to your next branch. And from this top branch for closest first, we're going to drag from there and type a less than symbol. Integer, it should be integer. Or no, we want float. Click that. And then do the same from the bottom one, except for do a greater than symbol, and it's also a float greater than float. So you should have 2 of these. Oops. I'm going to move that up. And then we're going to right click and type distance. It should be vector at the very top right here. The distance between 2 points should be the description. Click that. And we're going to copy and paste that 3 times. Okay, so for this top one, we're going to hook up trace start and trace end. And then for the next one, just double checking these next two, connect trace start to the V1 on both of these. And then for this second one here, bring in close last location, like a get node for it by control clicking, and attach it to V2, and do the same for the bottom one, but with far last location, and attach it to that. Okay, so next we will attach the close last location to the bottom side of our less than node for closest first, and the far last location we're going to attach to the bottom side of the greater than node for farthest first. And then for both of these, we're going to attach the trace that went from start to end at the top of both of those. Okay. And then the last step for this is we're going to hold Alt and bring in close last location and far last location set nodes, attach them to the true, and then it's kind of hard to see over here. we're going to attach end to trace end to both of those. I believe. Just double checking. Yep. And then hold Alt once again and bring in potential target, a set node. Copy paste that. Attach both to each respective one, and then attach hit actor to both of those. And I think that should be it for that function. And there you go. It was the hardest part of this whole thing. The next bit should all be a lot more smooth sailing. So I will see you in a bit.